For the next 15 or 20 minutes, I promise to take the low road. That's to be painfully blunt, occasionally profane, mildly humorous, and rarely self-congratulatory. In years past, I've used a David Letterman countdown. I've used Twitter to illustrate my points. This year, I'm going to try and use some cartoons. Some are funnier than others. Go ahead with the first one. I don't believe in pressuring my children. When the time is right, they'll arrive at the default choice and go to law school. Okay. The title of this one is Live Off of Your Parents as Long as Possible. It's a metaphor. Over the next 3 years, the law school will teach you most of what you need to succeed as an attorney. You have to do the rest. You have to take the flour, the sugar, and the eggs and bake a cake. With the law school's training and your effort, you have immense potential to do good, to contribute to society, and to honor your chosen profession. Justice Brandeis said, "Those of you who feel drawn to this profession may rest assured that you will find it an opportunity for usefulness, which is probably unequaled." Translation, you can do a lot with your JD. Some of you already love the law and will find a home working within its confines. Some of you dislike the law and seek to change it. Some of you want to right wrongs. Hopefully, none of you will do wrongs. Some of you will make a lot of money with your JD. Some of you will not. Your salary does not define your legal skill nor your usefulness. You define your value. Do not be afraid to take up a cause or to be a public servant. Do not be too proud to take a job for the experience and not the paycheck. And do not be ashamed to be a mooch while you find your niche. This one's funny. If you can't read it, it says, "This is me. I am a lawyer. Lawyers are important. They go to important offices and do important things. Color my underpants important." Don't be that guy. Failure is like success. You have to work at it. You may even need help from others to reach your goal. The law school is here to teach you, but you must own your education. You have to put in the time. Law school, unlike, say, Juilliard, does not require a great deal of natural talent. Our trade can be learned with effort. Someone famous once said that law school is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain. I just quoted Fort Minor. Not really famous, not rapping about law school, but it's pretty much spot on. Loud and clear, law school starts today, not a week or a month from now. There is no grace period, no window for transition. Hit the ground running. As a law student, you will quickly learn that you will not succeed if you are lazy. You will also learn that it is relatively easy, even at $43,500 a year, to enlist others in the enterprise of failure. Now, for those committed to ending a promising legal career before it begins, I have some pointers for you. Starting now, make sure everyone you meet knows that you are in law school, and in turn are not someone to be messed with. You know the law because you are close to the books. Never ask questions. Dumb people ask questions. Smart people keep quiet and make mistakes. Never admire someone else's work. What they say in class, someone else's verdict, contract, deal, merger, whatever. If you didn't do it, it can't possibly be good. Be a clone. Surround yourself only with other law students and lawyers. Think of life like a house of mirrors. Everywhere you look, you see yourself. Think like a sheep. It's not a coincidence, by the way, that the first clone was a sheep. As Margot Kaufman put it, people hate sheep, they eat sheep. And remember to color your underpants. Important. We find the defendant guilty of being in the details. The devil is in the details. Attention to detail is universally perceived as the key to success. Likewise, inattention to detail will pay immediate dividends in the opposite direction. Pay attention to detail. Do not start your answer in class or argument in court with all due respect, no offense, or nothing personal. If those words come out of your mouth, make choking noises, cough violently, and ask for water, everyone will forget what you were about to say, and you can start over without those words. You are about to be disrespectful, offensive, and you are about to be personal. Do not get dressed for an interview in the dark. I like business casual today, that's good. Do not wear paisley. Do not wear seersucker. Press your shirt. Shine your shoes. Get a haircut. Do not forget to attach the attachment to the email. Especially if the attachment is your resume. Delete. Do not attach your life wellness jingle or your favorite emoticon to an email. I once got a resume and the emoticon at the bottom was blowing bubbles at me. Delete. Do not send a letter to your client with his or her name spelled wrong. Do not send a letter to a judge with his or her name spelled wrong. Do not send a letter with your name spelled wrong. Do not be late. Do not be unprepared. Worse, do not be late and unprepared. And do not click reply all ever. Counsel sensed that the panel might not be taking his argument as seriously as he had hoped. This has happened to me, not quite like this, but it has happened. Gasp, lawyers can be wrong. We wear blinders, we fail to see the forest through the trees, we drink the Kool-Aid, we make mistakes, we make incorrect assumptions. We are human, except when studying for the bar exam, then sort of like the zombies in the Thriller video, but I digress. Trying to find some visuals for today to try to burn some of this into your memory, I came across what must have been 10,000 lawyer jokes. 10,000. Sure, we all laugh at them. I laugh at them. I brought some with me here today. And yes, many are funny, but we as a profession are the butt of far too many jokes. Wherever you end up, do your best to fix it, to fight the stereotype, but know that it's a tall order. You're up against the likes of Muppet Treasure Island. In '96, Disney put its spin on the Great American Classic. My son was watching the movie last year. Halfway through, Polly Lobster says, quote, "I could have been a lawyer, but I had too much heart." My son thought that was pretty funny. He's 3. If you are genuine and if you are humble, you will not be the punchline. Do not be the punchline. Can't quite see it, there's 3 sharks and a human. And the caption is, when you wish you'd brought in local counsel. My title for this is, Learn to Speak a Foreign Language. Ni hao, shalom, ciao, bonjour, guten tag, whatever. It's in fact a metaphor. Observe those around you, your audience, and learn to speak their language. I've done it to speak to you today. Depending upon the background you bring here with you, sports can be another language. Music can be another language. To me, defense lawyers speak another language. Those who speak many languages are less likely to be perceived as outsiders. Outsiders are trusted less, seldom receive the benefit of the doubt, and in turn are less likely to succeed. Why else do big businesses and large law firms hire local counsel? Avoid being an outsider at all costs. He's got roses or flowers. The statement is softening up opposing counsel. Play to win, but it should not be your goal to beat your opponent. Playing to win is one of the finest things you can do. It enables you to fulfill your potential, to improve your niche in the world, and conveniently, to develop high expectations for those around you. We all want to win. I love to win. Hopefully as a means to an end. To win is different than to beat your opponent, whether a fellow law student or a colleague. Beating one's opponent is to win without dignity, without collegiality. Once beaten, most of us seek revenge, and it's never good to be on the receiving end of revenge, to be gunned for, to be sought out for failure, to be the target of someone else's burning desire to stand at the top of the hill. As a lawyer or a law student, accomplishments are fleeting. Learn that. In reality, you are only as good as your next accomplishment, your next verdict, your next merger or acquisition, the next correct thing you say in class. While you're patting yourself on the back, someone else is maneuvering to tie your hands behind your back. Do not make people want to prevent your next accomplishment. Win with grace. You can read it. Obfuscate, dissemble, and gouge attorneys at law. The title is Don't Be a Pettifogger. It's a great word, right? Pettifogger. It's a real word. A pettifogger is a lawyer whose methods are, well, underhanded or less than reputable. You will never forget that word after today. In this profession, pretty much all you have is your reputation. It's hard to earn a good one and easy to make a bad one. Extend your colleagues some courtesy starting now. If not because it's the right thing to do, then do it because the roughly 1,000 future lawyers you will meet while in school here may have a client for you someday. Try this, come study with us. Or meet us at Fagan's for a drink, or hey bro, you've got mustard on your face. Good people tell you that. Why start now? So you're in the habit of extending courtesy in your professional practice, because in these days, the world of social media, it's easy from the safety of your computer in your office. Calendar call is no longer a social scene. The future lawyers in this room know the world the way generations of lawyers before you never did. The world is different, clients are different. The way we interact with the world and our clients is different. When I was sitting there, AOL Instant Messenger had just celebrated its 2nd birthday. You, on the other hand, will bring the practice of law to the world through Bebo, SciWorld, Diaspora, Dig, Facebook, Flickr, Foursquare, Jaiku, Gowalla, Hotlist, Google+, High5, Hives, LinkedIn, Meetup, Mix, MySpace, Ning, Orchid, Picasa, Plaxo, Plurk, Reddit, Trapster, Tumblr, Twitter, Waze, Yammer, Yelp, and YouTube. It sounds like a game of Scrabble after too much to drink. Over the course of your legal career, you will be more connected, more visible, and in turn more vulnerable to criticism than lawyers have ever been. With the click of the mouse, you can commit career suicide on the world stage. In your practice, someone will offend you, perhaps in person, or more likely through a technological proxy. Maybe it'll be a blog post or a tweet. Take a deep breath, count to 10, fight the primal urge to scorch the earth with a typewritten reply or witty retort in front of an audience. You are the guardians of the written and spoken word. Do not brandish your sword without good cause. Honor your charge, as some things can never be unsaid or unheard. Remember also that playing to win does not mean playing dirty. As you start your legal careers, you will find that things change from absolute to relative, from black and white to gray, from gray to light gray and dark gray, slicing the bread thinner and thinner. You must preserve and obey the absolutes, especially because it will be your job to uphold the laws, to shape the laws, enforce the laws, stretch the laws, bend the laws, make new law. When you were very young, it was absolutely wrong to lie, cheat, or steal. It still is, even if it's for the benefit of a client. There absolutely are absolute rights and absolute wrongs. If you never lie, cheat, or steal, you will never have to remember who you lied to, how you cheated, or what you stole. Not too long ago, a federal judge from another district out west was asked to comment informally on the first thing he looks at when reading a brief being the document you file with a court in support of a position. In your head, you're thinking, those of you who know what a brief is, it must be the topic sentence of the introduction, or it's the summary of the facts, or it's the legal argument, or it's the persuasive and compelling conclusion, or maybe it's the parties involved. It was the name of the attorney on the cover. Don't be a pettifogger. Get connected, stay connected. I don't know if you've heard it yet, but there are alumni associations here and a broad and diverse group of people who will support you as you begin your careers. In this room, there are 20 or 30 alums from around the country, more experienced than me, more accomplished than me, but we have some things in common. We all come from here, and we wholeheartedly support you through time and through finance. Some of us will teach you legal skills while you are a student. Some of us will hire you after you graduate. Our alumni are diverse. They sit on the board of trustees and the board of advisors. They run Fortune 500 companies. They protect justice. They dispense justice. They help run the United States of America. Some of us try and put lives back together after an avoidable tragedy. Some of us protect people over profits. We have an active alumni association, SULA. Join it. Think of SULA and the law school's Office of Professional Development like Google or Bing. We are search engines. Take advantage of the resources that are available to you. Call upon us to assist you. We will. Professor, I want to believe, but my Facebook friends, Twitterers, Wikipedia, Dan's Law Blog, and comment number 34 on Above the Law beg to differ. Don't be that student. The title for this is Sit in the Front Row, and it's particularly relevant today. I teach a course here in the spring called Law Practice Management. It's a class about how to be useful in the legal marketplace earlier rather than later, how to hit the ground running. Whether your plan is to practice solo on your own, at a mid-sized firm, at a public interest, big law, in government. I spend weeks explaining the ins and outs of law firm economics so that young attorneys know what is expected of them, as well as how to survive the transition from student to practitioner. My class endeavors to teach an important thought process, that young attorneys should sit in the front row. It's a metaphor. By it, I mean that you should make the most of your opportunities. Do not stand in the corner. Announce yourself. Introduce yourself. Do not avoid difficult assignments, difficult cases. Raise your hand. Speak up. Make eye contact. Acknowledge your mistakes and learn from them. Write articles, give speeches, teach, get involved in politics, do not be the controversy, take on civic responsibilities, do not fly below the radar, do not practice anonymity, Do not accept mediocrity. There's no final comment. It's because I want you to listen to me, like you have a choice. At each stage of my legal career, I've done my very best to increase the value of the diploma issued by this school, the one you'll receive someday. I've done the document review, I've gone through the deposition transcripts, I've picked up dry cleaning, I've pulled countless all-nighters, I've argued unwinnable motions, I've tried unwinnable cases. Why? First, selfishly, because it's good for my career. You can learn a lot about what to do and what not to do from the trenches. And second, because I knew that many alums before me had put in the time to open the door for me. I did not want to be the reason the door closed. I did not want to tarnish the value of my diploma. Do not tarnish the value of my diploma. I encourage each of you to practice law as though someone will write a book about you at the end of your career. Chapters about your growth, accomplishments, chapters about your failures, a chapter about some fun you had along the way, a chapter about your character, hopefully a lengthy chapter, a chapter about how you made someone's life better, maybe a chapter about making society better. In some way, shape, or form, someone will write a book about your legal career someday. And what goes into that book starts today. Good luck.